Joe Berlinger's film premieres for 2 weeks only, the IFC Center in New York City, starting September 9th, coming up next Wednesday. Then it opens September 18th, Los Angeles, Irvine. It comes to September 25th to San Francisco, Berkeley, San Diego. October 9th in Philadelphia and Austin, Texas. October 16th, Denver, Santa Fe, Miami. Washington, D.C., Seattle, October 23rd. Opens November 6th in Boston, Dallas, Houston. Opens November 13th, Baltimore, Minneapolis. Opens November 27th, Atlanta and San Antonio. Also coming to Chicago, Hartford, Portland, Eugene, a lot of other places. It's firstrunfeatures.com, or you can find out more at crudethemovie.com. We have links up on infowars.com. You know, I said I'd play the trailer, but he's right. A lot of it's in Spanish and subtitles. So just go to the site and you can see it right there, them ladling the toxic chemicals right out of the and burning down the rainforest. And I guess they also had a lot of oil fires down there too, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, legal, not legal. I'm not smart enough to figure out all that stuff, but it's certainly immoral, I think, to go into a region like that and just to spoil it. We also heard horrible stories of oil workers raping the local women, stuff that I didn't include in the film because we couldn't verify it. But even if it's a quarter true, I mean, some of the stories I heard, made the hairs stand up.
Basically, a Wild West free for all.
A Wild West with this colonial, arrogant prejudice towards indigenous people. That's really why I made the film. We were talking between the break that I did find some money for this, but a lot of it was paid for by myself. And initially, I was just paying for it myself because I just was angry and upset that and it was like this kind. I felt guilty for being white. There was for 600 years, white people have treated indigenous people horribly, including how we started this own country. We all know somewhere in the back of our heads that the Denny's over there used to be a Cherokee village, like a real Cherokee village, not something at Disneyland. And I used to kind of just think about it from time to time and think, oh well, that's in the distant past. But the reality is multinational behavior in these third world countries is just the modern day continuation of this terrible treatment.
But Joe, I agree with you, but I think it's more than just white. Any powerful empire, whether it was the Japanese or whoever or the Aztecs, they end up abusing the weaker group. And this multinational system is doing bad things to us in America, whether we're black, white, Hispanic, Asian. But certainly if we allow this to happen down there, it could certainly go on here. And that's why I salute you for making the film Crude, and I'll definitely try to come to the event when you are here in Austin. In fact, I had that little card here in my hand. When is it coming to Austin?
It's October 9th at the Dobie.
October 9th at the Dobie, and it's running for a few weeks, I think, here in Austin, yes.
Unfortunately, just for a week. This is the type of movie that unless people show up that first weekend, it's going to die a quick death. It's not... people like escapist entertainment, so hopefully people will show up.
So 2 weeks in New York, but a week in the other cities.
Yeah.
Folks, you definitely need to get out to see Crude. Joe, set it up. Come in studio when you're here in town. Check out the new setup. And I just appreciate the great work that you're doing. You are a true humanitarian, and thanks people like you, this planet may have a chance.
Well, and I thank you, and you keep up the good work. You're obviously doing incredibly important work. And, the truth will out. That's my opinion. Eventually.
Absolutely. Okay, well, it premieres next week in New York City, September 9th. Joe, take care of yourself.
All right, thank you. Take care, Alex. Good to talk to you.
Good talking to you. Joe Berlinger, ladies and gentlemen. The website, crudethemovie.com. Our websites are infowars.com, prisonplanet.com, jonesreport.com, and prisonplanet.tv. And my newest film is The Obama Deception. You can pre-order Camp FEMA right now. It starts shipping in 2 weeks. We will be taking calls. I ran out of time with Dr. Horowitz on earlier. We will be taking calls in the next hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes with Dr. Russell Blaylock. In the last 20 minutes of the show or so, I'm going to get into this Van Jones thing. And Obama wanting to have all the kids, quote, serve him, and he's going to enlist them. This is part of the National Compulsory Service. I'm going to go over some of that at the end of the show today. I really appreciate Dr. Russell Blaylock spending over an hour and a half with us lined up today. Dr. Russell Blaylock is a board-certified neurosurgeon, author, and lecturer. He attended the LSU School of Medicine in New Orleans and completed his general surgical internship as a neurosurgical residency at the Medical University of South Carolina at Charleston, South Carolina. During his residency, he ran the neurology program for 1 year and did a fellowship in neurosurgery after his residency. For the last 25 years, he has practiced neurosurgery in addition to having a nutritional practice. He recently retired from both practices and devoted full time to nutritional studies and research. Dr. Blaylock has written and illustrated 3 books. The first book was on the subject of excitotoxins, the taste that kills, and it just goes on and on. He developed a lot of widely used forms of procedures in brain surgery, and you just go to his website, BlaylockReport.com. That's Blaylock, BLAYLOCK, report.com. And he's here today to talk about the flu first, the chemicals they put in there to create an autoimmune response, why the government's having to admit now in rats causing neurodegenerative diseases, causing all sorts of joint problems, early onset of just all sorts of problems. Dr. Blaylock's going to go over that today, but also then what's happening with the excitotoxins, what's happening with MSG, what's happening with aspartame, and why he believes this is going on. So Dr. Russell Blaylock with us today to go over this in great detail and take your phone calls. Dr. Blaylock, thanks for being here. Do we have Dr. Blaylock there? We may have lost his line. We've been having some phone systems go up and down today. So we will get the network to call him if we need to. Just give the number to Genesis. We'll do it that way. They're over there fiddling with the phone system. So this is important. I mean, this is really going on. And now we have the medical report that has been put out, internally leaked out of the CDC here in the U.S. and the British medical system in England, that it's causing these degenerative brain diseases. Dr. Blaylock, sorry, we lost you there. Right. I was bringing up, we're about to go to break, but I was bringing up these internal reports that have now been leaked saying exactly what you said years ago, that these vaccines are causing all sorts of brain disorders.
Right. What we're looking at now, because of the new discoveries of stealth viruses, this could be much greater than we know, because a lot of these neurological disorders are more immediate. But the stealth viruses, these hidden viruses in vaccines, could cause neurological disease decades later, which really makes it difficult to make that positive connection. And that's sort of what they depend on, is that the connection's hard to make. We went through that with the excitotoxins in food, because of the difference in the time of exposure and the appearance of the neurologic disorder. But we have much better evidence now than we had before.
Okay, we're going to go to break. Long segment coming up. I'm going to try to just sit back and have you go through not just the viruses and RNA in these vaccines, but what is the mercury doing? What is the squalene doing? Why do we see massive increases in all sorts of different diseases in the literature being associated with the vaccines? With Dr. Russell Blaylock. Please stay with us.